This is a pro tip on how to decide when to wean your puppies and also how to introduce them to lapping up milk for the first time. This is a nearly 4-week-old boxer puppy. Sometimes weaning can start before this or after this. It depends on the mom. But what you can see if you look really close here is that this puppy, whoops, let me get a grip on her, has teeth. You can feel it if you put your finger in their mouth. And so that will let the mom know that they're getting to the point where they can switch to more solid food. And we're going to go with raw goat milk. In this case, I have a bottle of raw goat milk. It's been warmed up to bottle temperature and poured into a dish that is heavy and it won't tip over. This is a Lenny pad. They are waterproof on the bottom. I sell these in the dog breeder store in all different sizes, and they're wonderful for weaning, for putting on the bottom of the whelping box, and for putting under your activity center and your feeding stations. You also can use these dishes. We call this a flying saucer. I don't recommend that you use this at the very beginning because the whole litter will just step in this and will get milk all over them. But you can use this later once they understand how to lap up food, and this raised portion in the middle will keep them from stepping into it completely. You do need to realize that weaning is a little bit of a traumatic situation for puppies because they're going from being able to suck on their mom anytime they want to having to learn a new skill. And so they may shake, it may be hard on them, and just be very compassionate with them. You're also going to need a towel this has been rinsed in warm water so I can clean her. And then I also have a dry towel. I love these white towels. You can get these in sets at the dog breeder store. They're just wonderful for everything to do with raising puppies. So when you first start, you're going to want to put your puppy up next to the bowl. Give them a chance to see that there's food in there. They may not realize it right away. Help them maybe dip the front of their mouth down into it so they realize that there's food. Don't push their nose into it because you don't want them to inhale milk. They're going to automatically start to lap. And they may push away from you because this is a whole different situation. And you want to just give them a chance to lap that milk up. They have to figure it out kind of on their own. But I'm giving her a little bit of help by moving her face down into it a little bit. They usually do also drink in a lot of air. So make sure that when you're finished you burp them. Oh, now see, she got her nose into that. So I don't want her to inhale it. So I'm going to wipe her nose off. I want this to be a really good experience for her. And also we have 8 puppies here and they all have little colored collars on so we can tell who's who. This puppy has a black collar. These collars are also available in the dog breeder store in sizes that start at newborn and work their way all the way up to when they leave the nursery. So there we go. So she's now figuring out that she can lap this on her own. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of space. Just watch her to make sure that she's not inhaling the milk. I also do have an ICU here in my setup. I have an anti-box so that if anybody does inhale milk, I don't want them to get aspiration pneumonia, so I will put them in the anti-box for a little bit with a nebulizer with some thieves and RC and also maybe some oxygen, and that has always prevented aspiration pneumonia. But as you can see, she's doing really well. So I'm just going to let her go and let her drink as much of this as she wants. Just keep an eye on her belly to make sure it's not getting real hard. You don't want them to overeat at the first. And this can be really hard on them. You can also use a little bit of tea away, essential oil on them. There we go, got a burp out of her. See, she's starting to shake a little bit, and that's perfectly normal. It's normal when puppies are learning to lap, because this is just hard on them. It's the first little bit of them growing up. But this is everything you can hope for. Get a puppy that really does get it right away. But if you had the whole litter here, it would just be chaos. Now you can have that a little bit later on, and you can use your flying saucer, but not right now. So I'm going to take each puppy one at a time, introduce them to their raw goat milk. Then I'm going to switch them to immunity formula, and you can find the recipe for immunity formula under the articles section of the dog breeder store. And that will help to boost your puppy's immune systems and help give them an extreme immune system.